every record you beat. We will be following you. Every single jump, every trophy won, every wicket you break, every breakaway you make, every cross, every dribble, every dunk, every pit stop, every loss, every victory, every single sport. We will be here.
Welcome inside the locker room.
Live with Shopper Martins, and for the next half hour, it is all the sports that you can handle as we get inside the locker room with India Monday. Hey, India.
Good morning, Shopper. If you're not really great because I think Shopper just brings it a vibe that is quite exciting. I look forward to it every time I come here, and
I have a
the
little
energy is
dance
great.
to the intro. What can I say?
So good to be here. Good. Thank God it's Friday.
Thank God it's Friday, man. I've been waiting for this day since Monday at 6 o'clock, guys. I don't know what to tell you.
Wow.
It's going to be an interesting one. All right, guys, join the conversation. Come up on youtube.com/smooth981FM Lagos. Send your WhatsApp messages into 0809 440 and take it to Twitter where we are at smooth981FM. Okay, so I'm going to run through all of the stories that we've got for you so that you can start to send your messages in. Don't wait for the analysis, your analysis, and we will now join it to Inis and see what happens. See what magic you guys make together. Okay, so we'll be talking about Djokovic, who has ruled himself out of the U.S. Open. And speaking of the U.S. Open, defending champion Raducanu gets a tough draw. Tobi Amusan is set for her Diamond League title defense, and Real Madrid are the big winners as Benzema and Ancelotti claim UEFA awards. We've got Champions League draws news for you, and Lewandowski returns to Bayern, whilst Premier League clubs break transfer spending record with the amounts that we've been talking about. Of course, it was going to happen. Ivorian winger Pepe leaves Arsenal, and Newcastle close to Isak deal. And that is what we've got for you over the next half hour. Let's get straight into it. So, in the world of tennis for the US Open, I wasn't sure this was going to happen, but then it did. So Novak Djokovic has announced that he will not be traveling to New York for the upcoming U.S. Open after refusing to be vaccinated against COVID-19, making himself ineligible to enter the country. So we're like, okay, because when we're talking about this on Wednesday, we're like, okay, yeah, they relaxed some. Apparently, they have not relaxed at all.
It is really sad, and I'm sure for tennis fans it's quite frustrating because everyone loves the back and forth. Nadal fans, some of them, sent their messages on Wednesday, tweeted and said, we really want Djokovic to be at this tournament so that if Nadal goes on to win it, they will not say, oh, because Djokovic wasn't here.
I'm a huge Nadal supporter, so I don't like any of that kind of narrative. The guy is a beast on his own. The man can play on like two broken feet. That is how much I admire his perseverance and his willpower.
So we love competition. We love the feistiness that goes on between and Djokovic and Nadal. We really love that level of competition. That's what we want to see, and for a grand slam like the US Open, I think it's a big downer. It's a massive downer that Djokovic won't be at this one. I really wants to get that 22nd Grand Slam, but and I respect a man when they stand by what they believe, and he says he will have an opportunity to play in the future, or whether it's going to be in the US Open or whether it's going to be at the Australian Open. He was kicked out last time out. We don't know, but it's really, really sad. It's a sad story for tennis, but the show has got to go on, and it will go on.
All I remember was on Wednesday saying, "Oh, who knows what it's going to be like without Djokovic? We don't want to think about it. Now it is here."
Yeah, it is reality, and somewhere in my head, I'm still having a sneaky feeling that there will be a U-turn somehow. I'm still thinking.
Well, Australia did have a U-turn from good to bad.
So we're just hoping, but it's too close. The draws are already out, and we don't know how that is going to happen. But I'm sure we wish the best for Novak Djokovic.
Yeah, well, I'm up to the last moment. He was tweeting, "I'm preparing, and so I'm gonna really do this." Yeah,
and that's the measure of the incredible competitor he is, because even when he wasn't quite sure he was going to be there, he was preparing, was hoping that he would go on there and show his class. But sad one.
Look at my face. Look at my face, Ini. I don't know what
You
to tell
can't be
you.
bothered.
I'm not a sports pundit, so I'm allowed to be a fan. And I'm not a fan of Djokovic, especially when like coming to Nadal.
No Nadal
It's
slander will
Nadal.
be
If
tolerated.
Federer isn't there, is Nadal. I just really, really love him because you see, he's like walking wounded.
Yeah.
And he's the definition of walking wounded, and he just keeps going.
I don't know how he does it.
Oh my days! Wow, I'm a huge fan. All right, let's move on now to the women's side of things. And Britain's Emma Raducanu has been handed a pretty tough start against France's Alizé Cornet, and that's when she returns to New York to defend her U.S. Open title. Now she's seeded 11th. She stunned the world last year by winning the major, but now I hope we don't just out at the first round with Alizé Cornet because she is tough. That's an 18-year veteran.
Yeah, exactly. It's a tough one, really, because when you start tournaments, you always feel like, oh, let me start with the easy opponents. You know, if you get a good draw in the first round, you just want to, breeze past that one, get a bit of confidence going into the tournament. But to have a very tough character in front of you at the very start would be a hurdle that she needs to, dig deep into her repertoire and bring out an incredible performance. And it's a tough one. I don't doubt her. I don't question her ability. I don't question the fact that she can go on and absolutely blow Alizé Cornet out of the water.
I have to say, when she is when she's good,
yeah, she can be.
She's so
exactly.
She just takes people
down.
Exactly.
And confidence is everything. I always believe that. When you go into tournaments like this, how you feel, your mental space is, it's very important. And she's going into this tournament with a lot of belief. But I'm sure she
must have had a big confidence boost with Serena Williams.
Yeah, of course. Absolutely. So absolutely.
So it's like, if I can beat Serena Williams,
I mean, to absolutely smash the goat like that, would have given her a shot in the arm. I'm sure that she'll be thinking against Alizé Cornet, I've got to keep my level of concentration. Obviously, you go into that game as the favorite, and that could be a big problem because last time out of the US Open, exactly. Last time out of the US Open, she was the underdog, and it's always great to fly under the radar. Yeah. No one actually expects you to do anything. Exactly.
They are studying her every move.
Nobody's really looking at if you lose, nobody's going to eyebrows will not be raised. So you're going in there with very little or no pressure at all. Now you're going into this one with massive pressure on your back. You're the defending champion. You've got to go in there and perform. Everyone will be looking at what is she up to. She's British, the media, everything. It'll be crazy, but I fancy her to at least get past this top one. And if she does, she can only get better as the tournament progresses.
About the British media, I still feel bad. How many years later for Tim Henry?
Oh,
because,
dear
my
me.
God.
Dear me.
They'll be like, oh, this flower on the ground. Oh, this can make a great hero. Let's build and build and build. And suddenly this poor flower that was just being a flower, it's not like, how did I become the god of everything? How? I'm just a flower. Man, the British media.
They try, really.
That's the word. They try. Okay, let's take a look at some news about Tobi Amusan because the World and Commonwealth Games 100-meter hurdles champion is facing another hurdle on her road to the Wanda Diamond League final beginning tomorrow at the Athletissima meeting in Lausanne in Switzerland.
Wow, another one. You know what? We're still basking in that excitement of Tobi Amusan at Eugene in Oregon in US in July. It was quite great. And we're still excited about what she's gone on and done at Birmingham as well. But this is a good one for her. You're always competing with people. And we're hearing she's coming up against, the Olympic champion, Jasmine Camacho Quinn. She's coming up against Brittany Anderson, the former record holder. So it should be a good one later today. I'm set my alarm already to watch this particular race because I think it's going to be fantastic. Fantastic in the sense that, she's got a lot of pressure coming into the last time she won the Diamond League, she wasn't as famous as she is at the moment, but she's coming into this one. Same thing about I was talking about Raducanu. Pressure. How do you manage it? And,
pressure makes diamonds.
Exactly. Absolutely. I see what you did there.
I did not see it.
Fantastic. when you go into tournaments like this, when you
Mhm.
go into races like this as a champion, it's always important to enjoy it. It's always important to enjoy it. You know, the pressure is there. You've got people around you. Wow, what she did at the Eugene, what she did at Birmingham. Let's see if it's a fluke. You know, the British media are waiting. You know, they're waiting. They're waiting. The media is waiting to write. You know, maybe it wasn't quite what we thought it was. It was a flash in the pan, but she's the world record holder. She's the Commonwealth champion. She's the world champion. And I just feel like she's going to go into this race with bags of confidence, knowing I can do this again.
She's no flash in the pan. I don't care. And I'm not saying this as a Nigerian.
Any sports person will realize, because to do what Tobi did in the semifinals of the World Championship, break a record, get to the final like 1 hour or 90 minutes later, and absolutely smash it. I mean, you cannot say that's a flash in the pan. To be able to do that in 2 hours, you know, smash a world record, you know, the second one was win assistant. I don't know what that means, but I really, really believe that Tobi is at the peak of our powers. Our confidence levels is incredibly high, and I think the world will hear again tonight.
So all we need from her now is for her to come up with a signature move and then trademark it. She needs to put a bolt on this one. That's all I'm going to say. Real quick, let's take it to your messages. Yes, congratulations to Benzema and Ancelotti for a well-deserved award. You shall draw plenty teams in the same group as always. Whilst Israel says this guy, that's Djokovic, doesn't really have this virus, so why must he be vaccinated? And is everyone participating vaccinated already? He's not bigger than the event though, but they will surely miss him, and good luck to him. And also says Rafael Nadal is my main man though, as a Madrid fan that I am. Okay, I love it that you're taking it into sport, into tennis. But yeah, I'm assuming everyone that's participating is already vaccinated,
of course,
unless they have some sort of I think is it religious or anyway, but no, even for people coming in, I'm not sure about that.
For you to actually step, if you're coming into America, you've got to be vaccinated.
Yes,
that's what the rules say.
Who is not a citizen, you have to be. Yeah, so they are all vaccinated. We can already tell you that. Otherwise, somebody had some papers falsified. I don't want to say too much about this. Let's move on. All right, let's take a look at the UEFA awards, because boy, Karim Benzema has been named the UEFA Player of the Year. I mean, he had a pretty stunning season. And also, Coach Carlo Ancelotti was named the UEFA Coach of the Year as he led Real Madrid to their 14th UCL title in grand fashion.
Yeah, exactly. No surprises there. What a monstrous season Real Madrid had last term. And with the Don himself, Don Carlo Ancelotti, brilliant season. You know, he's a gift that keeps giving. Everyone looks at Carlo and say, oh, he's old-fashioned, he's an old guy, what is he still doing? And the guy says, hold on a second, I'm still relevant in this business, won the Champions League. And what a season Benzema had. My goodness, it was just unbelievable. And he knows that, you know, that sort of season is the sort of season that you have, you know, once or twice in your career if you're not Ronaldo or Messi, because Ronaldo or Messi had that kind of season consistently. He was just an absolutely unbelievable season for Real Madrid. And I was really pleased for Benzema, because in the end, it's great when you win team awards, team trophies and all of that, but there's always that bit of a feather in your cap when you win individual awards.
Yeah.
You know, you go into events and they call you,
like
they recognize that you are the guy who was the best player in the Champions League last season. It's always great. I mean, and when you see the galaxy of stars who played in Europe last season, the Champions League, Europa League, and all this competition, to be able to say I'm the best of that mix, it's just unbelievable.
All right, we've got to take a break, but when we get back, more sporting news for you inside the locker room and more of your messages after the break.
Music on Smooth 98.1.
Can you hear now? I realized what happened.
Yeah,
I think someone. You still can't hear?
No, it wasn't sounding well.
Yeah, because I realized this thing was turned. Somebody had turned it up, so I've turned it down. But it should be okay
No,
now.
it's okay now.
Nice.
Eating only fresh food. And when I want to refresh, trust me to only do peak yogurt.
All our YouTube people, where you at? Send your messages
That's
in.
right. Just refresh
As I was
with
about to
Peak
say on
Yogurt
YouTube.com,
Drink,
but
which
you're already there.
contains
So
Peak
what
Yogurt
can I
Drink
say?
is filled with
Yeah.
essential vitamin and minerals. Peak, rich for your peak.
I have to say I'm
This
very
life
happy
people
about
to
this.
upgrade like if you be the driver.
It's not like I expect Djokovic to. You know what? I don't even know why I'm so happy about his news. I think I'm just mean. I think I just.
Say you're happy.
I don't know what to tell you. I think I'm just. Djokovic, I don't like his style of play. I don't like.
He's
how
not
he
flamboyant.
No, yeah, but also he's kind of mean.
He's not graceful.
He's not graceful.
He's not graceful. He
On
just
or
goes
off the court.
Yeah, he just goes about his job and he flies under the radar a lot. He doesn't want to be in the media.
And then when he I think it really comes down to when he doesn't win or when he's not winning, he starts making things difficult. Suddenly I'm sick, I'm this.
Yeah, he's not charismatic. You know, when you see people like Nadal, they are
like
your
Nadal,
dream
even down to
tennis
his
guy.
little OCD behavior, I will like it. Give me anything, Nadal. All right, we're back in. Okay, I'm back. We're back with more sports, and I'm at Bella up on YouTube who's asking, "Don't worry, Tiger will be in. Wait for September. Wake me up when September comes." Send your messages in via Twitter as well. We are at Smooth981FM, and of course, the WhatsApp number is 0809444091. Let's talk Champions League now, and Barcelona will face Bayern Munich in the group stage of this season's UEFA Champions League after the draws were confirmed in Istanbul. And so the encounter is going to see Lewandowski return to face his former side, which he left the Spanish side for in the summer.
That didn't take long. It didn't take long at all.
He left for the Spanish
Yeah,
side.
exactly. It didn't take long because he just left the club and he's going to go back there. I'm sure there will be open arms. You know, they'll be welcoming him. I saw a message from Bayern legend Thomas Muller sending him saying, "Look, we're looking forward to having you back at the Allianz Arena. It would be great. It would be great. Absolutely. The Champions League draws, you know, pitting the real juggernauts, you know, the Bayern Munichs of this world. I remember a few years ago, Lewandowski incident, not 2 years ago, not a few, 2 years ago, Lewandowski was playing for Bayern Munich and they absolutely went to the Camp Nou and destroyed Barcelona 8-2. And Lewandowski scored a hat-trick. I still remember that because I'm just thinking, is there going to be another 8-2 in the making?
Oh.
Is there going to be another massacre of Barcelona or Bayern Munich? But it would be great. Two absolutely brilliant teams.
The days have passed.
Yeah,
Trust
exactly.
me. They formulated like we can never return there. Back to that humiliation. No.
It would be absolutely great. And on draws itself, it was also fantastic. They still have Inter Milan in that same group, which I think it's a really, really tough group. Bayern Munich, Inter Milan, Barcelona in the same group. It's a tough one. Man City, Real Madrid, a few of this club also had draws. Liverpool play Rangers, also fantastic. Man City played Dortmund, who will see another player go back to his former club, and that's Erling Haaland, who's going to go back to play against Dortmund. So it was a great night of draws, fantastic. The host, Don Pedro, was absolutely brilliant. Reshmin, the female host, was absolutely fantastic as well. So it was a great night as well.
Fantastic, man. All right, and moving on, we're gonna take a look at this spending record because money. The Premier League clubs have broken their record for spending in a summer transfer window. This is according to analysis from finance company Deloitte. Now, they've calculated that clubs have spent, my God, wait for this. Are you ready? Take a deep breath, guys. 1.5 billion pounds so far this summer, exceeding the previous record of 1.4 billion in 2017.
And the incredible thing is
1.5 billion pounds for
exactly
human beings, right? Okay.
The incredible thing is the window is shutting next week, you know, so there's still
more
time that record will be extended clearly because we're hearing that there are some signings that are in the offing. We're hearing Man United haven't, you know, completed their deal. They are looking for. We're hearing this morning João Pedro from Watford. They're looking for Anthony at Ajax, and with understanding United are willing to pay in the excess of 75 million pounds for Anthony. So it will keep extending, and it's quite crazy.
Wait, hold on. What's the biggest payout we've seen so far?
the pay a biggest pay. I think it would be Liverpool spending 84 million on Darwin Nunez, and
Oh my god.
it's incredible. It's incredible. I don't know what
Oh
this
wow.
how sports, or no, not sports. I think football, because I think football started this thing. How do you spend, you know, I remember in 2001, Shopware, 2001,
Mhm.
when Real Madrid spent 47 million pounds on Zinedine Zidane. Everyone was wow, 47 million, 2001. I'm like, come on, blue murder. How can this be happening? How can you spend such amount? Now, if you spend 47 million pounds on a player, it feels like that time you're spending 2 million pounds. It's
Inflation.
incredible. Yeah. Crazy, absolutely crazy.
See, all I want to do now is just, please, who has a brother who can talk about? That's what I want to know. If you have, let us know. Let's all just pool our money and talents together and raise this brother so he can go and enter transfer window and be bought.
I saw some years back. I saw a guy write on social media. He said, my son, he said, when my son tells me, Dad, you can't decide what I want to do. He said, no, I can't decide, but your choices are limited. Is that how you play football, basketball,
something,
baseball, box, but just
even if golf is now inside this.
Yeah. So this is your choice. I'm not saying you should play football, but your choices are limited. Choose from here.
I know one gentleman who had a very tall son. I was like, my retirement plan. That was his name. My retirement plan every time. Oh my God.
Don't waste this height, please.
I'm telling you, with these figures that we're seeing, just
sports people make incredible money, and they deserve it. Quite honestly, I'm not going to beef.
I used to turn my nose up at these guys until I went to go and watch Arsenal, and I just saw the size of the football. Because like when you're watching on TV, you're like, oh man, what man? They're just running and kicking the ball.
It's a lot of work.
I saw it with my own eyes.
It's a lot of work.
This pitch so you do is huge.
Yeah, you do at least 8 kilometers every time you play a game, and then you train every day. It's not just you train every day. It's not they don't just play. You wake up in the morning, you train. Some clubs train twice a day, so you train in the morning, you train in the evening. So it's a lot of work actually.
When I saw just one person running from when I was like, oh, you run up and then you run down, I was like, oh, you're done.
Are you retired?
Take your money.
They were running and you were tired.
I was tired. I was out of breath for that. Okay, we need to move on though. So let's take a look at this next one. And Nice have signed Arsenal forward Nicolas Pepe on a season-long loan. Now he's got 2 years left on his contract. So,
what might have been? This is one signing that Arsenal fans have been really frustrated with. He came with a huge price tag, huge expectation of
72 million pounds.
Yeah, a lot of money. Arsenal. If you know Arsenal, from the Arsene Wenger days, Arsenal didn't used to be the guys who wanted to splash the cash. They were very.
Arsene Wenger was my spiritual father. Money like that.
He used to be very, intelligent and smart with the way he was spending money. But football has changed, and Arsenal have fallen to the pressure of, you've got to pay big bucks to have top players, and Nicolas Pepe came with a lot of expectations, and he hasn't quite lived up to it. It's been consistent. It hasn't quite developed in the way everyone expected him to develop. Talented kid, very exciting player, can score goals, can create goals, but hasn't quite worked out. I don't know. I just feel like, personally, every time I look at him, I think there's something wrong with his attitude. I just feel like his attitude is not great, because sometimes I know it's frustrating to be training and you're not playing, but the attitude has not been great. The few times I've seen him come off the bench, hasn't quite performed to the level where you should push the manager enough to be starting irregularly. And when you've got people like Bukayo Saka in front of you, and they are performing, they're creating goals, they're scoring goals, it's almost impossible for the manager to play. And I feel for him, really. I hope he can rediscover his form, because he's a top player. He's a really, really good footballer. I like him, skillful. He's got bags of tricks about him, and he just needs to get his numbers up, because football is a numbers game. And if you're not performing, if you're not getting those numbers under your belt, it's going to be very hard for you to play in a top team, more so a competitive team like Arsenal.
Okay, let's take a look at some of these messages. So Sheyi says, UEFA just created Group Q of the Champions League, comprising of Arsenal, Spezia, Aimba, and Al-Ahly. Please talk about this new group, I beg. Emeka says there's no how anyone can tell me that UEFA don't know what they're doing with that draw that they did yesterday. As a Barca fan, I hereby declare that draw inconclusive. 8-2. See what will happen to Barca again this year. I also feel bad for Prison, the last team in that group of death. They'll be bullied left, right, and center. Whilst Israel says, I still see Barca. Oh. Prepare your chest. I still see Barcelona as a dog against Bayern Munich's lion, who's going to be playing for Lewandowski in the midfield.